waves. I like the PC waves, and I have a hard time doing that with.
Yeah. For those who are wondering, yes, that's Amy's natural hair color.
Yes.
Alicia.
People wonder, Amy.
Hey, in just a few moments, we're going to be talking with an immigration lawyer. While we're waiting to get him all, we do have him here right now, actually. So with President Trump issuing his, kind of tweeting out that he's considering an executive order that would ban new legal immigration into the United States via green card or via visa. We thought we'd talk to someone we've talked to before about immigration law, an immigration lawyer out on the East Coast, Andres Meyer. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here.
Good morning. Always happy to join the jam.
We appreciate that.
What does this executive potential order mean? So he would suspend new visas and new green cards, right? But the people that were already in the process should be okay. Is that the hope?
I'd like to say I know exactly what Trump had in mind. That is a little difficult, and officials are now saying all sorts of different things. So he came out at 10 o'clock and says, in light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect jobs of our great American citizens, he'll be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration. What does that mean? Considering what he's already done. So all visa processing has been halted. No one can apply to visit or to even move to the U.S.
And that's before
that's now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's no visa interviews, no fingerprinting, no citizenship ceremonies, no asylum hearings, and almost all immigration courts are postponed today.
Okay.
The refugee program has been paused. Migrants at the border are being immediately expelled since March 20th. That's been extended to May 20th. So all of that is already happened. So what are we talking about? People who are in the U.S. and have legally filed for an application like a green card. Those are the ones that we're not going to give work authorization, or we're not going to give their green cards because they did it legally. It doesn't make a lot of sense. If it's to protect from the pandemic, that's too late. It's already here.
Right.
January, we could have done something. We can't do something about it now. There's 2.5 million people that have contracted it, according to Johns Hopkins University. In the U.S., we have over 788,000 cases. That was at 8 a.m. It might be almost 800,000 by now. So here's what Trump has done. January, he restricted foreign nationals from China. March, also restricted foreign nationals from Europe to coming into the U.S. Like I said, he closed the border. He's been trying to close down immigration since day one.
Right.
He's now been somewhat successful.
So here's my question is, so people that are waiting for their green card application, and boy, I count my lucky stars that we finished this with Enrique last October, but my heart goes out to people. I was worried about it under normal times, worrying about it now is crazy. Because there's no USCIS interviews right now either, right?
None.
So everything's paused. So I guess, yes, what is the need for an executive order right now when everything already that he aims to stop has stopped, unless it's a guise that he's using to promote an agenda that he wasn't able to do through normal means?
You said it. So the only real answer is a political one.
Right.
He wants to enter immigration into the conversation because he believes that it is his number one issue for his base, and it probably is. I think he's right about that. That's why he keeps on talking about the wall. So but practically speaking, what difference is it going to be? Well, there are certain exceptions that are being talked about. Farm workers. So immigrant farm workers are about 10% of the farm workers in the country. They're going to be exempt from this, allegedly. We haven't actually seen the order yet. And healthcare workers, doctors and nurses, particularly those that are working on coronavirus patients, will be exempted from this. But until we see the actual language, it's really hard to say because every official says different things.
Yeah.
So if there is someone in the U.S. now who is in the middle of the process, they will not be able then to get work, correct? And if that's the case, is this an attempt to force those people out of our country?
Well, they can't leave. I mean, even if they wanted to, they can't get on a plane right now.
Right.
I suppose you could drive across the border, but if you're living in Europe, that might be a little hard.
Yeah.
So practically speaking, what the application is going to be, my assumption is it's a political showmanship rather than practical difference. I imagine staff counsel at the White House is busy scrambling, trying to put something together.
Exactly. I would not be surprised if this came from one advisor, an idea, he tweets it, and then his staff has to catch up and actually work through the language of making things work so that at least there's something. The only thing I could say in President Trump's defense is not the right word, but maybe this is where his head is going, is the idea is that when we had a labor shortage, meaning and unemployment was so low, we needed immigrants to work some of the jobs that Americans that were already employed doing other jobs. Is he trying to anticipate that out of this, there won't be a labor shortage? In fact, there will be such high unemployment numbers that he wants to give preferential treatments to Americans to have those jobs first, as opposed to green card carriers. I can at least see the line there,
Logic.
even if I disagree with it.
That is much better than how he's articulated it.
Right.
Right. But that at least has a logical basis. If you have 22 million unemployment applications in the past month, well, maybe we don't need to give out visas to people outside the United States to take those positions. The problem is, well, they can't enter here anyway.
Right.
So you don't need a new order. You've already done that.
Yeah.
Just wait until when you can let them in. It doesn't.
Well, President Trump, I mean, he's been unofficially on the campaign trail for the last 4 years. And now, I mean, he's running for re-election. I mean, I think it's something that sounds good at this point.
Sure.
We are only a few months away from November presidential election.
Look, he needs something to say every single day.
Yeah.
Right? So if he's a wartime president now, he has to protect us. How is he protecting the economy? He's protecting the economy by not allowing others to take your jobs.
Yeah,
That's an argument.
Isn't that what we just said here? He's not really articulating it in that manner.
He's not. And look, it's 180 characters. Maybe it's doubled now. So it's a little difficult. It's part of the problem of this presidency's policy through tweets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Policies usually are memorandums that are 10, 15, 20 pages with explanations and examples.
Mm-hmm.
That's normally the way these things are done. He doesn't work that way.
It's interesting.
So first he said,
Are you telling your clients anything different today than you would have said to them yesterday? I mean, is there really going to be any cause and effect once this executive order is issued?
I'm not, because what I'm telling them is, listen, don't wait, file today.
Okay.
Okay, maybe your application process will be delayed for some period of time. Maybe, or maybe not. There's no real way to know. One thing's for sure, the sooner you, because they do serve first in time, first out. So if you file today, you are 1 day closer to achieving your goal. You gain nothing by waiting, other than if you've overstayed a visa, well, immigration may be knocking on your door. You're better to apply to come out of the shadows now than wait for a knock at the door. Well,
yeah.
Assuming they know.
It's also that you bring up another worry there, the idea being that, with visas and renewals and everything up in the air, you might have a lot of people applying that now have stayed here technically illegally for some time, and that might hamper their process moving forward. I wonder. But the other question I want to ask is, with the executive order, it's interesting because when we've seen previous executive orders as it relates to immigration, they're almost immediately challenged in Ninth Circuit Court, other courts. Courts are shut down right now. So are they, or can there be emergency filings to appellate courts?
They are open for emergency applications, which most likely this will be.
Okay.
So, because we're going to be talking about a preliminary injunction, a temporary restraining order, saying there's irreparable harm if the court does not do something to stop this activity. But it needs to be articulated what that activity is, what the legal basis for it, and then what's the challenge. So can organizations, whether it's the Ninth Circuit, the California area, whether it's a New York area, there have been challenges across the nation. Even the Fifth Circuit has, put in place injunctions stopping this administration. But it's hard to formulate challenges to an unseen order without a legal basis that's been provided to it. The president has authority to halt some immigration under the law for health reasons. So pandemic is that. But if he wants to protect jobs, that is not a protected ground. He needs to couch it into something else. He needs to be able to articulate. So like he says one thing, but he wants to do another. Take the travel ban.
Yes.
He had 3 versions of the travel ban, and each one The first two got knocked down because of statements he made
Exactly.
that directly contradicted what his attorneys were saying in court.
His tweets are used as evidence in courts of law.
Yep. So this is most likely going to be a little bit of political showmanship. I don't see an actual difference other than what's already been done,
Yeah.
other than cause confusion and worry.
And more paperwork. For more people.
Yes.
Yes.
More calls to your attorney. What's happening to my case? It's been 9 months. I wish I could tell you, but they don't take my calls either. So it's unfortunately you need to wait, but you need to get in line.
Yeah.
Because if you're not even in line, where are you going?
Yeah, for
Nowhere
sure.
fast.
Andres, thanks for breaking this down. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll be chatting again soon once we learn a little bit more.
Until the next tweet.
Until the next tweet.
Until the next tweet when we meet again.
Yes, thank
you.
Thank you, everyone.
And there's information coming up about immigration, COVID-19, and the latest there. The information there, andresmeyerlaw.com is the website, and there's his Instagram account if you need to reach out. And he said last time just to keep on reaching out. They also have a Facebook page too, and they're pretty apt to answer those questions too.
Shoot your
As
questions.
he always